So you really think that Susan, the CEO of YouTube, came here to meet us to talk about you and another guy?
In that podcast episode, when he clicks the video tab, you can see that my username is in his history.
But he's so certain that I donation shamed Jeff Bezos. Imagine coming and making a video with such righteous anger about something that never even happened. Money is money. Donation is a donation. It's all good. But what do you make of Jeff Bezos donating $690,000?
Yeah, if you're going to donate that little.
He makes that in 6 minutes.
Love it. Love it. That's incredible.
Well, the thing is, I have lots of rocket ships I need to shoot off.
So is that kind of a bitch move?
Bitch move?
Ethan Klein, you hate him or else? Ethan and his wife Ela started making videos in 2011 after Ela needed to make a video about addiction. So they made the video that would kickstart their entire YouTube careers, Chocolate.
Welcome to Cooking with Chocolate.
They continued to make comedy videos in that style, such as classics like watching Disney movies by myself. This all ended in 2013 when they started making their classic reaction videos. They continued to make these videos as their channel took off, surpassing 1 million subscribers by the start of 2016. However, this is where the train of purity ends, and the case against H3 begins. In early 2016, Leafy Is Here made a video about Tommy NC, which, if you need me to remind you, was Leafy making fun of an autistic guy, so of course he got backlash about it. H3 also jumped in on this. The main problem people had was found after Leafy leaked DMs between him and Ethan, showing Ethan was just giving Leafy that sweet sloppy toppy. Ethan later deleted the video, but this revealed a part of Ethan that has become increasingly more familiar as time has gone on. A manipulative and a vindictive YouTuber bent on nothing but aiding himself. People cite Ethan's lack of research, poor transitioning, treatment of guests, as well as its overall unentertaining feel, but let's just talk about that third one, because there's a lot to unpack there. A lot of the reason why the H3 podcast has gotten so popular was because of the people Ethan has on the show. However, not all of his guests get treated the same. Let's take William Osman for example. William Osman, at the time of the podcast episode, was an up-and-coming YouTuber with about 600,000 subscribers under his belt. William had constructed this talking beanie that spouted off quotes and lines from H3's videos, and so the Kleiners invited him onto the podcast, however, not for a full episode. The prevailing theory, which is one that I agree with, is that Osman had too little influence for Ethan to consider a full episode for him. So, William was confined to a 20-minute segment in a video that was largely just boring as they even described it.
We're actually not doing much. We're goofing, we're chilling, we're chatting. This is a very mediocre episode.
We're just sitting here.
You know, every time it's like, this is the best episode. No, this is a very mediocre episode. Let me be upfront with you.
And most of his segment was spent talking about his house burning down, which I think we can all agree is pretty fucking shitty. After that, William gave Ethan the beanie, and he was booted off the set. And even before the podcast had started, he talked about how he felt devalued because of being regulated to that 20-minute segment.
They said we're going to be on for like 20 minutes. That doesn't make me feel like a very special guest, but sort of a temperate, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like supplemental to whatever show. So what we've learned is that we're not exciting enough.
They didn't even put William in the fucking title. They had to change it because so many of his fans started asking them to do it, and even after that they put it directly at the end. Ethan is kind of a selfish individual, in the sense that he doesn't really care about what he can do for another person, but about what that person can do for him. So a fellow YouTuber, Gokunaru, released a really fucking amazing video about H3, which I encourage you to watch after finishing this one if you're still curious about the hypocrisy. It was really the first big hit against Ethan Klein. However, juxtaposed to what people thought about him after it, Ethan seemed like he was going to redeem himself. He indirectly addressed the criticism in a podcast episode, which made many people hopeful that Ethan would redeem himself on the platform and even become one of the greats once more. However, he never changed his behavior. In fact, Ethan's probably gotten worse. Hello Internet, welcome to YouTube Theory. Today, we're going to be looking at did Ethan Klein ask Susan Wojcicki to take down Gokunaru's video. Let's get started. At the end of 2019, Gokunaru's video, alongside the Leafy Content Cop and Fine Bros React by Psychic Pebbles, were taken down for bullying and harassment. This was after those bullying and harassment views were updated to essentially target commentary channels. Now, the internet's favorite stepdad, Keemstar, made a tweet accusing Ethan of asking Susan to take down a video in a meeting with her earlier that year. Ethan, instead of denying these allegations, just exchanged petty insults with Keem, so the people had to do some digging. In an April creator blog, Susan Wojcicki said that the creators that had met with her, which includes H3, voiced some complaints. The most noteworthy being the quote, "And they say online harassment from fellow creators is growing and needs to be addressed." While this does not directly implicate Ethan, this does line up with what he said about that Leafy video that was mentioned earlier.
There's no sport in making fun of these people. It's just sad. They don't need to be made fun of. And now that Leafy's channel has blown up, he's sending like millions of kids to just harass these people. And honestly, it is kind of just turned into bullying.
Ethan ended up addressing the entire thing on his podcast, but instead of confirming or denying it, he called Keemstar a clown.
He has a problem. His fragile little clown heart was hurt when we did the podcast, and then I said afterwards in a comment that I hated him, even though in the podcast itself I repeatedly tell him how much I disliked him to his fucking face.
And refused to say Gokunaru's name for the second time now.
So you really think that Susan, the CEO of YouTube, came here to meet us to talk about you and another guy that made a video about us?
You want to know how I
Came
met?
here and we talked about some guy that we don't know that made a video about us. That makes, yeah.
iDubbbz, Zax, and then that one conspiracy, the one that Keemstar says I got removed.
Now, the way that you address the video, pretending as if you haven't seen it before and aren't well familiar with it, I find that slightly funny, and I think it clearly shows you haven't moved on from it. The criticism still bothers you. And in case there's any doubt in anybody's mind that, he's actually seen the video, if you go to the episode of the podcast where he has Gus Johnson on, in that podcast episode, when he clicks the video tab, you can see that my username is in his history.
The fact that this theory that H3H3 would take down criticism from a fellow creator was actually viewed with complete seriosity just shows how little the YouTube community thinks of Ethan Klein now. So the question goes, theorists, did H3H3 ask Susan Wojcicki to get rid of the Gokunaru video? Well, tell me in the comment section below, and I have to tell you for legal purposes that it's just a theory. A YouTube theory. Thanks for watching. On April 10th, YouTuber SomeOrdinaryGamers released a video called The Hypocrisy of Ethan Klein. Future Zog here to apologize because I neglected to realize how bad the video quality for the Mudahar videos would be because I didn't download the original video because I couldn't nab it before it was deleted, and the fucking re-uploads are shit, and then the downloader I used is shit, so it's like fucking like a mosaic painting or something, so sorry about that. In this video, Mudahar, who I'll be calling Muda so I don't sound too white, detailed his issues with a statement Ethan had made where he criticized Jeff Bezos' $100 million donation to help stop coronavirus.
Now, in this trying time, Ethan has had plenty of time to sit on Twitter and morally grandstand and basically spread his political beliefs, as shitty as they may be and as pseudo-intellectual as he comes across. But that's not even my concern. My concern is his donation shaming and how hypocritical it fucking is. And it's something that has actually pissed me off enough to make this video.
Ethan, in his 40 fucking minute long video response, pointed out that he had never made that claim. Ethan's video, admittedly, was better than I imagined it to be. He still made some shitty fucking points, however most of the video was pretty solid. However, just like every other time drama happens, the people went and digging, and they found a clip that could bring up the entire argument again.
What I really wanted to say is that a lot of people have been donating a lot of money. Metallica donated $750. Chris, $750,000, obviously.
Metallica?
Yeah.
The band?
The band. Chris Hemsworth, Thor, donated $1 million. DiCaprio donated $3 million. Kylie Jenner, DiCaprio. Leonardo.
Nice.
Kylie Jenner, $1 million. Elton John, $1 million. Ethan and Ela Klein of Teddy Fresh, $50,739. But then here's where my question comes in. Now, I'm not usually someone. Money is money. Donation is a donation. It's all good. But what do you make of Jeff Bezos donating $690,000?
A lot of people made the comparison of like that's literally equivalent of a middle class person donating, I don't know, $69 or something. I think that was
less.
Less? Yeah, I think it was like that was the argument.
I think it was.
He should have made that anonymous.
He makes that in 6 minutes.
Yeah. If you're gonna donate that little,
he makes that in 6 minutes.
Love it. That's incredible.
Well, the thing is, I have lots of rocket ships I need to shoot off.
So is that kind of a bitch move when you're like a?
I was wondering what's with the weird number. So it's $1 million Australian dollars. That's why it's a weird.
That's why it's so.
But he knows what a dollar is. He's saving himself money.
So, for some more context, during the Australian wildfires, Jeff Bezos, the richest man on the earth, donated $690,000 to charity. However, people criticized the donation because, according to Business Insider, Bezos is making $230,000 every minute, which would mean he was literally only donating 3 minutes of his time to the wildfire charities. Now, Ethan, as you can see, called it a bitch move. The video's main takeaway, however, comes with Ethan showing his true colors. Watching the video, even at the very beginning, you could just feel something within Ethan, like this pure bitterness and anger at criticism being leveled against him. You can tell at multiple points in the video he's very visibly upset at a guy who just made a shitty take against him.
Makes me wonder, did he really just look at the thumbnail and then launch into this righteous rant about me based on a thumbnail? I mean, people have accused me of not doing research, but boy, I have never made a video based on a thumbnail. That's crazy!
Ethan, through how he acts in the video, as well as how he constructed the video, displays more about Ethan's character that we already know. So unlike some other creators that have become hated by the community, Ethan Klein's journey back to respect on the platform wouldn't be a hard one at all. I mentioned this in one of my previous videos, so check it out when you get the chance, but as viewers, we tend to forgive creators pretty fucking easily. However, this is not handed to you on a silver platter. You have to at least attempt to change. Ethan just needs to do what he promised to do 1.5 years ago. Make an honest attempt at getting himself back in the good graces of the YouTube community by being more open with his viewers, learning to take criticism professionally instead of personally, and becoming a man of the people once more. Defending his fellow creators instead of throwing them under the bus when it benefits him. Of course, if he doesn't try to appease the people won't ever accept him.